Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm just gonna do a small whip and chat. Well, yeah, smalls. I always say that, but anyways, a whip and chat just to give you an update on how my family is doing, how I am doing, how my dad is doing. So, if you want to follow me along, please take out whatever you are doing, a craft, a chore, whatever, and follow along and listen while I chit chat. And let me tell you up front, there's gonna be some ranting because I was so pissed off this week, but let me tell you all about that. So, the canvas that I'm working on is called Creating Yourself by Julie Filipenko over at Dreamers Designs. And this is my entry for the event Alice in Winter Wonderland, which is hosted by the beautiful Lindsay. Sorry, me and names, it's terrible. Lindsay over at Live with Lindsay. So she's hosting this beautiful event, Alice in Winter Wonderland, where you can work on a canvas that is Alice in Wonderland related. Can be the Mad Kitty, the Mad Hatter, any character of the Alice books, or yeah, whatever you can find that is connected to Alice in Wonderland. So I'm working on this one because this is a depiction of a girl that is tattooing herself. And I found that she looked a bit like Alice. She's got this school uniform, blonde hair, blue eyes, like all the works. So I thought this is Alice in Wonderland. Also, there are rabbits in the painting. So I thought, yeah, this is gonna be my entry. So, next, my kids are at home. I'm waiting for my hubby to arrive with groceries, so if you hear any back noise, I'm very sorry. It might be possible that I have to pause the video sometimes just to go check, how it goes. Because let me tell you, those kids, they're like doing Spider-Man on the walls. I kid you not. I saw Berre hanging in the at the doorpost, and then Roman was doing it in the hallway, like crawling up on both sides. Like oh, please come down! You're gonna break your ankles. Yeah. In the background, you're also gonna hear my brown canary Tommy because it's later in the evening, so it can be that he stops singing at one point, but for now he's still singing his beautiful song. I'm filling in the pink color, and I'm using my light pad. I'm very sorry about that, but it's so dark. You cannot even begin to grasp how dark Belgium is nowadays. It's really depressing, but we make the most of it. So, thank you so much, guys, for all your warm well wishes, and yeah, for my dad, for a speedy recovery, for me, for my birthday. So I was really happy because although I was, yeah, let's say that I was cheerful, but I had a lot of my mind the last few days. So you might say that I was in challenging headspace. Challenging. It was not depressing, but it was challenging because I had the feeling there was too much I had to think about. Marie, hi. Marie is now. She's shy. Are you hungry? Yes, she says. So, oh my god, it's raining cats and dogs, like they say in English-speaking countries. We say drasje. It's on drasje. So, yeah, nice, nice. Goed bezig, Belgium. So, anyways, updates. So, my dad is doing fine. I'm saying fine in between parentheses because I'm actually not sure. And I hope my phone doesn't die on me because I'm charging it, but apparently the battery runs out quicker than I can film. But, so, between parentheses, because I tried to get in touch with a doctor, and the nurse said that a doctor would call me back. She said that 2 days ago, and I still haven't heard of any doctor. The nurses were able to... Wait, what? Is this all tea? I should put on my glasses because I can't see if I'm doing... Yeah, okay. So, first nurse that I had on the phone, she said, like, we're giving him 3 liters of oxygen. And she told me that number, like, I was supposed to know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I suppose then I went into, Google search to find out, like, so 3 liters seems to be pretty much, but apart from that, he has no other symptoms. Like, he was vomiting, but my father is also tube fed, so they thought that it had to do something with the food that he gets, so they were trying to work out a different diet for him. And the other nurse, she was a bit more like at ease. She explained me a bit more, and she said, like, my father is not in any danger. So he's not in ICU, or he's just there getting oxygen, and they're just keeping him until he gets off the oxygen, and then he can be on his merry way. So, but of course, at one hand, I was a bit angry at him because he didn't want to get vaccinated, and all respect for his decision and his choice, but he's in a difficult state right now, and he will be for the rest of his life. Wait, let me tell you. So my father had a second brain bleed, that left him paralyzed, but they managed to get him sitting up in a wheelchair, so that's a good thing. But he cannot swallow correctly, so he needs to be tube fed, and he cannot speak. So you can imagine that communicating with my father is very difficult. He does send an occasional message, and when I go visit him, we communicate through his computer. He's got this speech computer which can read out everything he says, but he doesn't use it when you're there. You just have to read the screen, and then But of course, when there's a lack of communication, you can plead to please get vaccinated, but you cannot really go into a deep discussion about it because his movements are limited, so he can type, but of course that goes very slow, so we communicate through verbs, mostly verbs and adverbs, but not whole sentences. So it's difficult to get him to get vaccinated, and I was a bit worried about that and a bit angry because he was so headstrong, because he had COVID the first time when there was not even a vaccine available, and he got through that okay, but he had like fever for 2 days, and every day he was messaging me like, I've got fever, they are not able to get my fever down, I don't know what I have to do. And then after those 2 weeks he said, I'm better, I don't think I had COVID. And even now he didn't want to believe. And sometimes I think like, so it's a brain bleed in the back of his brain. So sometimes I wonder if his personality has changed. And it has for a great, yeah, a big part. But yeah, so I was really worried about that. And when I filmed the unboxing, that's when I had the the ease of mind that he was doing okay and that he would get through it. So that's why I sounded so cheerful, because some people might think like her dad is in the hospital and she's like, oh, boo, boo, boo. But sorry, letting my cat inside. But it was because I was actually cheerful knowing that my dad will get through it. Well, I hope so, because you never know. But high hopes, let's say it like that. Then, as far as the family, we are actually doing great. Concerning the circumstances, so COVID is. Can I say COVID on YouTube? I don't know. It's raging here in Belgium. It's really raging, raging, raging. And up till now, my family has been spared. Well, we did have COVID cases, but like the new variant hasn't reached us yet. But I'm gonna touch wood, because it seems to be very difficult to outrun the virus right now, because everybody around us is getting it. It's really, it's like a bad movie. it's it's so awful. Like, and Casper, my oldest boy, he has got his midterms now. He's studying to become a social worker. So I'm gonna help my husband just a moment. He just returned from the store. Yes, I'm back. So my husband arrived with a huge amount of toilet paper. I don't know what it is in this house. It seems like there's a toilet paper eating munchkin, or a gnome that comes in every night and eats toilet paper because it goes so fast. Yeah, big household, I know, but anyways. So Casper is doing very well. Um, he asked me a few days ago, like, Mom, are you proud of me? I said, of course I'm proud of you. You're doing so good in school, because with this ADHD, it has been a problem in the past and he couldn't really concentrate, but he's doing great now. And I believe, in fact, that his girlfriend plays a big part in that, because she's also in college and they're in the same city. So, and she's studying to become like a speech therapist, something like that. So also speech and learning people to swallow and everything. So yeah, that's also a very beautiful job. So they both will be caring for people after they graduate. So of course I'm proud. Who couldn't be proud? And Berre, that's actually funny. On Monday, I get a call from the headmistress, like in the he's on in boarding school, so they've got like this person that yeah, keeps the kids in check, I guess. and she called me and she was like, you have to come and pick up Berre immediately because he had a high risk contact with a boy. And I was like, oh my God, not again. So in that school, the principal is very, very fearful. So what does it mean? He doesn't really care about the rules that are actually in play. He just makes them even stricter. So because last time it was the same story, like there was a kid that tested positive at first, and then they said, yeah, Berre was sitting with him at a dining table, but Berre sat there for like 15 minutes at most. But they said we went to the boarding school, we left Berre there, and no, it was actually not us, it was the grandmother. So she brought Berre to the boarding school, and on her way home, I get a call from the principal that we have to come and collect Berre because he had to have a self-test done. And I'm like, why don't you in school have self-tests? If you're like this afraid, just be sure that you have some of them lying about. But no. So the dad who lives in the neighborhood, he went to the pharmacy. We got Berre tested. The test was of course negative because I was sure that Berre, he's not in contact with a lot of people. Yeah, he is, but he's not like all this cuddly and because he's on the spectrum, so he doesn't really like touching people or cuddling or anything. So but then so he went to the school, and it was like 9 o'clock or 9:30 already, 9 p.m. I mean. So Berre was negative, but then the principal was like, yeah, but it's still too dangerous. You never know. He might get symptoms in a few days, and you have to come and collect him, and blah blah blah. But I said, like, okay, my husband has been at work for a full day. He's not coming to get Berre now. Yeah, okay, but then he has to stay in his room, and what is he going to do when it's breakfast? And I was like, don't worry, he's got food, he's got drinks. We always give him plenty of things that he can eat and drink, so he won't be starving for that night. And I felt like, yeah, the principal was really like, but then afterwards, the headmaster, so the master of the boarding school, he went into a deep discussion with the principal, and apparently Berre could stay. There was nothing wrong, and Berre never tested positive. So okay. So with that in mind, I get a call on Monday, like, please come collect Berre because he had a high risk contact. Because he was vaccinated more than 5 months ago. And I'm like, okay, we will come and get him. So my husband, luckily, at Monday, he was at work as well. So he was there in the neighborhood. He goes to collect Berre. But meanwhile, I'm like, wait. Children in between 12 and 17, even if the vaccination was longer than 5 months ago, they're considered as being fully vaccinated. When they get into contact with someone that's positive, they don't especially need to do a CPR test. They don't have to go in quarantine because the school said he has to be quarantined for 7 days. I was like, wait. So I call back. I'm like, guys. No, I'm not like guys. I say, hi, I'm so and so. I'm the mother of Berre. Please go to the website of the federal government and look at what they say, they stipulate, because I was it's not that I don't respect the fact that they're worried about their students and the COVID, but I was a little pissed off because he, for a kid that has autism, well, that's on the spectrum, they need they need a schedule. They need things to be organized, and getting him from school was getting him out of the routine. And so I said, okay, I'm willing to let's him stay at home for the rest of the week. I don't mind. I like him being around, so I don't mind if he's here or not. But please remember that your rules are different than the ones stipulated by the government. And of course, I'm not really 100% happy with those rules that they stated. But anyways, so that lady says to me, okay, I will ask the principal to call you back, because we were discussing if he had needed to do a CPR test or not. So she said, yeah, the principal will call you back. So that was on Monday. But then I go to bed. On Tuesday, I get a message from the principal that school will be closed until the 30th of January, and that they will be doing homeschooling. And for Berre, that's a bit sad because he's in college. No, it's not college, it's high school, but he's more like in not a theoretical level, he's more like the practicums. So he learns everything by practicums, so not much of theory. He's learning to be how do you call it, a printer? I don't know how else to say it, like printing books and everything. So like the preparation for it, the handling of the machines, because that's something that he really likes, like printing and everything. So they have lots of practicum. So for him, having that is, yeah. But at the other hand, he's not doing so bad, so I'm not too worried about it. And then on Tuesday, the lady that like gives him some extra curriculum attention, like she's helping him with homework when he has homework, and because he really needs that someone is really watching if he does his homework and if he gets his books and everything. So yeah, so she called me and she said, it's so great to see Bear. He's been so happy lately. He's really relaxed. He's got friends. And I'm like, yeah, it's true. Because a few years ago, it was a disaster. It was a disaster. He hated school. Because for him, it's very difficult, and he has trouble communicating. So, but now he's doing so great. I'm so proud. He's 16 now, so going on 17. So yeah, that was with Berre. Then Roman, he's a little fish. He's like, one moment you see him, the next you don't. So his obsession now is with Pokemon cards. Yay! So I'm sorry that you don't see me diamond painting, really. I should, but it's so, I hate the angle, but my lazy arm is just blech. So he's so into Pokemon and Pokemon cards right now, and I love it. For him, I love it, because otherwise he's the little nerd that sits behind his computer or his tablet, and he knows so much. You know, Honestly. So that boy, you must remember, he's 10 years old. He will be 11 in March. But I watch him typing blindly, faster than I ever could type, blind. Well, he's not blind, but I mean typing blind without looking at the keyboard in perfect English. In perfect English. Like, he's faster than me. He speaks a language that he just learned from YouTube and watching videos and everything and playing games and blah blah blah. And he will get English classes only in high school. Because this year he only started to learn French. So I'm like, I know what they say, like every mother's child is the most beautiful child, but I'm so proud of him. He's so he seems to be very intelligent. So anyways, he's all into Pokemon, and this morning I see him ravaging his closet like, Mom. And I'm like, boy, what are you doing? And he's like, do you have a sweater with a zipper? I'm like, oh my god, don't tell me you're yeah, I need a sweater with a zipper because I want to take my Pokemon cards with me and blah blah blah. So we both go through his closet, and luckily I found one sweater that has got like a zipper on his chest. I'm like, and he said, oh my god, yes, that's perfect, Mom. So guess who's gonna wear that sweater for like the rest of his days? Yeah. So now he can go to school wearing his Pokemon cards on his body. He's very happy. And I'm like, oh my god, I hope they don't steal his cards. Because, of course, they need to collect the rare cards. Because he knows, like, the value of the cards and how much he would get paid if he sold one of the rare kinds. And, oh my. So yeah, that's Roman for you guys. And then Marie. Let me tell you, Marie is still hungry. Marie is always hungry. I told you that before. I tell it again now. I don't know what it is with that child. She eats, never stops eating. She eats continuously. Like, it's not only breakfast, lunch. She's got breakfast number 2, brunch number 2, lunch number 2, lunch number 3, and then just something to get appetized, and then her dinner, and then after dinner, she might get a snack, and then just before she goes to bed, she says, Mom, I'm hungry, and I'm like, oh, child, what is wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with her, but I don't understand. Does she burn so much energy that she has to constantly eat? She's very active, that's true. She's very sweet, very kind, but she's so active, and I kid you not, when she comes from school, so we've got this tomato soup sometimes in bricks, because normally when we have time we make like fresh tomato soup with meatballs. Yes, But she comes home from school and she eats a full brick of tomato soup with 4 sandwiches. Then she's like at ease for, let's say, an hour. After an hour, she comes into the craft room. She taps on my shoulder. Mom, I'm hungry. I'm like, can you at least wait until dinner? Because it's gonna be dinner soon. And then she eats dinner. And then after dinner, she's like, sometimes she asks for an ice cream. Right now, we don't have any ice cream, so I'm not too sad about that, because the ice cream, it's like, oh my god. So then she eats another thing, a snack, and then before she goes to bed, sometimes she eats another sandwich, or I don't understand. And the I've got so many troubles because she always got this strict mindset, like she knows what she wants to eat, but she's not certain. So when she says I'm hungry, I have to recite a full list of things that I can get her, that I can give her, and she's like, no. So I'm like, do you want boiled eggs? Do you want an omelette? Do you want pasta pesto? Do you want a croque monsieur? Do you want a sandwich? Do you want soup? And like slow, no, 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 no. And then sometimes I say something else, like, for example, salami. It's like this meat, special meat. She's like, yeah. So every time she comes to me saying she's hungry, I have to like brace myself, and then list all the things I can make her, and then hope that she finds something that pleases her. Tell you, it's so tiresome. And you have to know, my husband, he's at work a full weekend, so he works 24 hours in the weekend, so 12 hours Saturday, 12 hours Sunday, and sometimes in the week he's also gone for his job, and he has got meetings and yada yada yada. So he's got a very important job. So in the weekends, most of the time I'm alone with the kids, so sometimes, yeah, it can get pretty busy here in my head and in the household. And so that about my kids. Then about my husband. So I told you before, I don't know in which video it was. I think it was the video about Belgium. So I think I put the clip, or I put a link to the clip, the video clip of their metal band. So they're working on their third album right now. And of course, then they have to go to rehearsal, and they have to do this. And I swear to God, when their album is finished, I'm gonna know everything by heart. Like, I hear those songs like a million times, because he's there in the living room, because yeah, he says I took up the space with my craft room, and the house in the backyard, it's too cold right there for this. Yeah, in the summer it will be okay, but now it's too cold. So he's like, you've got your own space, and where do I have to sit? And I feel very guilty. I'm like, yeah, I know, but yeah. But he's got like his guitars in the living room, and his drum computer. Well, he's got a laptop, and there he's got like this special program with the drum computer. That's just to because they've got a drummer, but yeah, to make sure that he plays in the rhythm. He plays like the bass. He in the group, he's the bassist, but he also plays the electric guitar. And fun fact, he's left-handed, so he plays the left-handed bass and the left-handed guitar. Luckily, he knows a guy that makes instruments, so it's custom made. Very nice. Must be very expensive also. No, it depends, but yeah, anyways. But like yesterday evening, he was out for rehearsal. But you know how that goes, like those guys, they want to have a drink afterwards, and they want to talk some more music. And yeah, then in the mornings he wakes up very late, and I'm frustrated because I'm like, I have to wake up every morning so early, and you're going to sleep in every day, and it's not fair. I can be a total bitch. I can be very dramatic. and a little bit pity, like, please pity me. Yeah, that's not such a good trait, but sometimes it's like, yeah, like, I want us to be a team, you know? But anyways, so this morning, I think he had a little too much to drink. But tonight, he has to go and get his booster shot. And he's already crying. He's like, why? I don't want to. I'm gonna be sick. And I'm like, you don't know that. You don't know. But he said, yeah, I've got Pfizer. So I got my booster shot and I was not. Actually, I didn't feel a thing. It was like she was there. I was like looking away so that I wouldn't see the needle. And while I was looking away, she's like, okay, hold on. And I'm like, what? What? I come home, I'm like, I didn't feel a thing, and I'm very, and my husband was like, look at you, so brave and so, cocky and everything, and I was like, yeah, I didn't feel a thing, it's gonna be alright. But then the next morning when I woke up, I was like, oh, my arm. And, okay, the arm wasn't too bad. It was sore, but it was okay because I started turning around my arm in circles right after I got the shots, and people were watching me like, what's she doing? The crazy. Yeah. So, but the next day, guys, I was so sore all over. All over. Every bit of me hurt. Like, I don't know what that was about. I was like, my husband was laughing like, see, yesterday you were so cocky and like very tough and like I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm sometimes a very stupid woman. But anyways, next day all was gone. I was feeling myself again. But my husband, he will get Moderna, and he is not so fond of Moderna, because apparently that's the one that makes everybody sick. But I told him, you cannot know up front, because if you start thinking about the people that get sick from the booster, that can be placebo. You can just be so anticipating the pain that you will feel the pain. So don't anticipate, like, just think like, I'm gonna be okay. But yeah, that's a man for you. Well, yeah. So also Saturday I will have to go with my kids. They get their first vaccine. They get Pfizer as well, which makes me very happy because Pfizer is, for kids, I think, the best solution. I wish they could get Johnson & Johnson, but apparently that's not a thing here in Belgium. So they get Pfizer, so they will get one now Saturday, and then they will get the next one somewhere in February. So I'm really happy, I'm really anxious, because Roman is a really crybaby. He's a lovely boy, but he hates everything that has to do with examining himself, and I'm saying that all wrong. Like, he hates going to the doctor, he hates needles, of course, but he also hates the self-testing. He always feels like he's going to die. He, yeah, it's not a good match. Like, I'm really scared, because I had to get him, I had to self-test him one time. And I was really having a hard time because there was no one that could help me, and I had to keep down his arms, like hold down his arms while trying to stick that thing up his nose. Needless to say, he went up to his room and he started crying there for like an hour, and then he came downstairs and all was forgiven and forgotten. I was like, I said, did it hurt that much? No, it didn't hurt. It was just, yeah, he's afraid. But I try to talk sense into him and like it's not gonna hurt. You are going to be okay. I'm here with you. You know, the sensible parent doesn't work. He's always like, nah, I don't want to. So okay, pray for me on Saturday. So I will let Marie go first. She's, oh my god, she's one tough kid. She has been self-tested I don't know how many times, and she doesn't even crimp. There's, oh my god, she's very tough. So yeah. um and I guess that's all the news that I, no, no, it's not true. Oh my god, do you have just a few more moments? Let me tell you about me and my search for a job. Wait. Yeah, so let me tell you about the job hunt and the change of career. And I'm sorry, I know that normally I don't curse. I normally don't, so there won't be so much cursing in what I'm going to tell you next. But one thing I'm going to tell you that it's all bullshit. So I went to this woman I told you already at the bureau for. I should look up the word, but it's those kind of people that help you to get a job. Because, yeah. So I was going there with the intention to try to talk to her about fields in the work fields that were in need of people, like there is teachers, healthcare, IT. So those three things would really be something that I could do. I'm very sure. So she didn't even mention any of that. She said, "Okay, if you want to do." If you want to start to do something like that, we will have to check, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay. But when I was there, she didn't talk about that anyways. She gave me this paper like she's transferring me to another person in a private business. So that's a company that works together with the bureau just to make sure that people do what you have to get a job. So that felt a little bit weird because am I that difficult that you give up on me and that you have to assign me to someone else? But I'm like, okay, whatever. I will do as I'm told because I'm most of the time very compliant until it gets too much on my nerves. You know what I mean? So this week I had a conversation with that woman that I was assigned to. Well, and I tell her like, you know what my problem is? I said, on my letters of application, there's always like accountancy, administrative, customer service, and I'm like, when you're at customer service, most of the time you go commercial. I'm not a person for commercial things. I'm not. I'm a terrible seller. Yeah, you wouldn't say when I was independent for so long, but that's something else. That was creative. So, I say I don't want to do this for the rest of my life because it's not who I am in the. Well, I wasn't that dramatic about it when I told her, but I was like, I want to do something different. I want to um, take on some courses. I want to go to school again to be something else. I don't I don't know. I have a hard time finding out where my dreams lie. I know that it's about helping people and caring for people and being there, like children, people, elderly, whatever. Maybe IT, because I'm not good with computers. I'm not saying that I'm good with computers, but they interest me and I love to work with them and I love everything about programs and finding out things about just so I'm sorry, I'm not diamond painting. So she answers me like, yeah, you could go to school in the evenings or do something online, but meanwhile we will have you we will want you to find a job and look for a job. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, but if you see my history, um, I have done some social work. I've been to college for social work. I didn't finish it. I had my first year, my second year, and my third year I stopped, which is a pity, but I chose to work because my parents didn't support me. I had no one to support me. I had to take leave of absence, which I couldn't afford. So I just chose to go to work and provide a living for myself. So she said, yeah, but that's all before 2010. So everything before 2010 can be discarded. I'm like, really? I'm like, I went to school, I went to college, I paid for all of that myself while because I was working meanwhile, very hard working. I had nights of few hours sleep just because I had to work a night shift and I had to be there in school in the morning. And now you're telling me like I have to put that off my application letter because it's no use. They're not gonna look at it. I'm like, doesn't that show you that I'm an independent, very responsible human being? So like she's like, I'm sorry, but they don't look any farther. And yeah, that was so long ago. I say, yeah, it was in 1999 when I started, and I stopped in 2001. But I don't see what has changed so much in social right, social um, management, in psychopathology. That's the learning about the mental diseases, therapy, um, psychology, like name it. I all went through those classes. I'm like, it's not like you can discard that all now and say like you will. So I'm like, so you mean to say that for that one choice that I have made when I was 20 years old, or 20, I don't know, you can calculate. I'm 47 years old now, born in 75. I went in 1999. So I leave the calculation to you. I don't like math. So you mean to say that for the choice that I made then, I'm going to spend the rest of my days in jobs that I don't like just because I made that choice then and there? Like it's like I'm being punished, and I'm like, it's not even that I made a choice. I didn't kill a guy. I just made the choice to provide for myself right then because there was no one else providing for myself. So oh, that pisses me off so much. You have no idea. Ah, stupid Belgium. And right now, so I cannot complain, and you know why? Because they give me like this amount of money every month while looking for a job. So I cannot complain. I've got an income. But let me tell you, right now, I would gladly give up that income and just say like, okay, you can keep it because I get other money as well. I don't mind. Uh, I will. It will be tough for a while, but you can keep it. I don't want it. If it means that I have to, like, I tell you all the time, I don't like math. Do you know in what kind of jobs they put me? They put me like in accountancy. And what is someone that doesn't like math doing in a job in accountancy? Or uh, the billing department, all the time, and customer service about billing. You know, I don't like math. I hate numbers. So yeah, I'm sorry for this rant, but I just had to vent. And my husband, luckily, he understands me. He's like, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that. But I'm like, yeah, but I can't be without a job for the rest of my life. But I would gladly become a stay-at-home mom, but I don't think we could financially. I don't know if we could manage, but I would like to try because at least then I'm home with my kids. I can be there for them. I am now as well, but yeah. Oh yeah, that's so funny. So I'm like saying like, yeah, sorry, but with 4 kids and a husband that has got a very important job, so like he's the head provider, and um, I'm just trying to do my part, and but I mostly do my part by being there for the kids and doing household and everything. So I said to that woman, yeah, I'd rather work part time because it's just too much otherwise. Because, yeah, I do have other things to worry about. I have to be able to visit family sometimes because they live far away. And, yeah, I know in Belgium, far away, it's not that far away, but you know, it's all practical stuff, and I have to be able to be there for when my father needs me, and blah blah blah. So I'm like, part-time job, that's, and how much hours do you want to work? I'm like, 25 hours, that's the max. So she's like, yeah, look at this side of the bureau, and then we can. So I will write down, like, so she's looking at the applications there, not the applications, they call it vacatures, so job offers. That's what I want to say. So she was looking at the job offers on that page, and she was like, yeah, customer service, which I don't want to do. Customer service, like, and I know I sound like a brat right now. Like, I know that you must be happy when you have a job and everything, but I've been working since I was 15, and I've worked hard in my life. I worked very hard, and I'm not now at a time that I want to spend more time with my kids. So that's why I'm so picky. I don't want to be full time all the time in something that I don't like, and I think I've got the right to say that, and I should be happy. But on the other side, so yeah, enough ranting. So she's like, okay, customer service. Look at this. You've got 200, what was it, 237 job offers. And I'm like, okay, let's filter that down to part-time jobs. And she's like, okay, filter part-time. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, 21 jobs. And I'm like, there you go. Most of those jobs are in teaching, so they ask enormous amount of people that are in education and teaching, which is something that I would love to do, actually. Um, So there are many people needed in schools and everything. So most of them are offers for those kind of jobs, but I don't have the degree. So yeah. So and that's why with those 21 jobs, point me in the right direction, please. But I'm so frustrated. But then again, I'm a Capricorn. I will take on whatever you've got. I've got a creative mind, you know. So I'm creative. I've got a creative mind, so that means that I will find a solution to the problem. So don't worry. I will get through fine. All will be well. But that's just how it goes here in Belgium. They disregard, and if I was to say like okay, I'm gonna do something that you said that wouldn't have a future, like graphic design. If I wanted to start that, they wouldn't pay me for that. I wouldn't get any. So I know in America it's the same thing. If you want to change course, you have to pay for the tuition and everything yourself. I know, but something I'm actually I would be willing to do, no problem. But problem is I don't want to jeopardize the future of my children. So yeah, I might have to go back to a odd job somewhere and just earn money and just make sure that they can go to college, which I'm willing to do, but that doesn't mean I cannot be frustrated about it. Okay? Okay. So, anyways, that's it for me, guys. I'm so sorry about this rant, but I just had to explain. Like, I think it's everywhere the same BS. I was just unhappy about the fact that they discarded the fact that I went to college and that I did get some degrees and that I actually have like a foundation for social work. So that's the only thing that really got me pissed off. Like, I worked so hard for it, and she said, "Yeah, I understand that you're proud of it, but it doesn't matter." Like, and that's what really hurt me because it was such a hard time. I was busy 24/7, like all the time. Yeah, but enough about that. We will find our way. Um, Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate every one of you so much. I hope you stay safe and that you have a wonderful end of your week, wonderful weekend. I Some of you I maybe see in the lives, not my lives, the life of Ruby Q, for example, or yeah, never know. Stay safe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you guys. Bye.